Okay, so to just bring it back to what you were saying, you said it was a sad way to view dating.
I do.
To be like using these metrics to kind of assess potential partners. But women have all kinds of metrics with which they assess their partners. I think it's just shocking for women to hear men actually articulate the things that we care about. Because I think it's honestly shocking for a lot of women to hear men actually articulate the things that men care about.
I think that if, you know, what a man is looking for is for a woman to be, I think that if what a man is looking for is for a woman to be impressed by what he does for her out of her own lack of seeing what is available in the world, then to me, that is sad. Well, I'm not telling anybody else what they can and can't prioritize. To me, that's not a relationship that I would want to be in.
Well, I mean, I wasn't taking it like that, and perhaps that was in response to something Allie said, but originally I think I had stated that I don't see the advantage of dating a woman who's 31 versus 21.
Sure, you don't have to.
There's no advantage to me.
I think that there's a lot of advantages of dating a person who has been on this earth for longer and knows more,
so
and has
a higher body count and more promiscuous and more baggage from past relationships.
You know, if you don't see the merit of somebody being on this earth for longer and accruing more experiences, then I can't tell you how to see that.
Right. So, like, here's the thing. It's not...
because this is something that's viewed as merited in men.
Well, that's something that... So, like, what you're saying, I get where you're coming from. Like, oh, that's so sad. She hasn't seen the world, and so she's so easily impressed. I think we're missing an element of romance. There are some things that are special to just have with that one guy. And I mean, you know, all of us can relate to, hopefully your first kiss went well, right? But like, that's just like a special frozen moment in time. But if you're a woman and you're constantly dating, you've been to like the nicest restaurants, because the premise is that the woman is probably like 32, because I won't do 30, right? We'll compare the 24-year-old to the 32-year-old. But like, there's things that are just like not cool. You've already cohabitated, so you've already lived with a man, so it's not special if you cohabitate with your cousin. And even, I mean,
whoa,
my bad,
Freudian slip there.
No. It's not special if you cohabitate with your husband because you've already cohabitated with a boyfriend, right? So that's like one thing that's just not really, you know, specific to you guys. And it's more than that too, right? So it could be the best sex of your life. Like, what if that's not your husband? And that would be wonderful if it was a beautiful moment between the two of you. And the last thing I would say is having a child with your husband, because if you have a child by another man, that's already something that you've given a man the highest honor of being a father. So that's something that you wouldn't be able to afford to your husband. So there's just an element of romance. Like, we can't just pin it down to a level of naivete. These women can't do it themselves, because we can. We can make six figures. We can travel the world. We're very safe to be walking around at night. We can do all of these things. But it's more special when you do it with that one guy.
I think it all stems down from people just need to date people in their caliber. Okay, you wouldn't have a problem impressing that girl because she's been to these nice restaurants in Bali or whatever, if you could take her to better. It's why we see most celebrities only dating other celebrities. We don't see singers, whatever, dating their fans, because you want to date somebody. I think even Brian's brought this up in past podcasts. You want to date somebody on the same caliber as yourself. So if you can't afford, yeah, we did. If you can't afford Dubai, not on this podcast.
No, women want to date men on their caliber and up. Yeah. Men don't really care about that.
But you say men don't care about that, but you guys are so concerned about dating women who haven't experienced much, so you guys can wow their panties off, is what you've been talking about.
Wait, but you just said men want to date.
You're saying you want to date someone who's 21 over 31, because how are you going to impress the 31-year-old?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's what Allie's saying.
Well,
so how are you going to impress the 31-year-old who's seen it all? She's already been to the finest islands, the finest restaurants, whatever. Yeah, what I'm saying is then you should be dating somebody who you can show those things for. Leave those girls to the people who can show them more.
No, so I get what you're saying, but like the problem is more of the inverse. Like, the men that can provide that to young women, they have a lot of options. So there's a lot of women out there that they kind of realize one day that they can't quite get that guy. Because I think, like, our problem with Brian is that Brian is in the streets, okay? But
what? Whoa.
Not in a